Alright guys, so I want to give you a little bit of a background or behind the scenes. I'll give you a bookshelf tour. There's a lot of things that are missing right now. I'm trying to fill up my bookshelves with the type of reading that I like. However, I do still have a lot of older books. And also, it's about 100 degrees here in the Northeast. I don't have an air conditioner, so if you hear that fan behind you, don't worry about it, alright? It's just me, and I'm trying not to sweat to death. Alright, so let's go take a look at some of my bookshelves. Alright guys, so this is kind of my setup. I have two of the professional soft box lamps. This is my desk over here, and then of course, you're probably familiar with the background. Yes, that is a deer head in the back. I am a hunter, so I'm sorry if you're offended by it, but I do find hunting a necessity. And if you want to, you can go check out my other videos where I do get really in-depth on survival and hunting and just being out in the woods. That's one of my passions and one of my channels. Also on the desk, you're going to see I have a bunch of knives there. I'm also a bladesmith, so if you guys are interested in any type of knives, go to 3riverblades.com or go to 3riverblades on my YouTube channel. All right, so those are getting ready for packaging. I have to make some sheets for them. They will be for sale. If you go to the website, take a look. So I know you guys are here for the books, so let's take a look at some of the books. Again, is my computer over here. Big fan of Jacko Willink. And over here, obviously, I got a lot of crap, and we'll get into that in a second. But what I like to do here is I'm going to keep all of this. This is my Robert Jordan Eye of the World collection. I am almost done. I am finishing my last book, which is The Memory of Light. You can see that in the corner right here. I had to switch over to audiobooks because I just couldn't find the time with all the things going on in my life. So here we got J.R.R. Tolkien's HarperCollins special editions. These are very expensive, at least $100 per book, and they are still in the wrapping. I know that. I'm going to take them out eventually. All right, so this is kind of a, like I'd like to call a shelf queen. These are all my little shelf queens up here. Have a little bit of red lighting in the back, which is kind of nice. Up top, these are my coffin flags. All right, so when you are somebody that dies in the military, you get a military burial. I should say that I am a United States Marine and have served faithfully in combat, and these are flags of the fallen. One is my grandfather's, and then one is my friend's. All right, so again, that sword in the back is an NCO sword, and that one is when we become a non-commissioned officer, if you guys are interested. Brandon Sanderson. All right, so I just started getting into him. I know he's Lord Sanderson. I'm getting into his stuff. I'm purposely looking for his stuff in paperback if I can get it. I like paperback better than the hardcover. It's just a lot easier to read, just for me personally. Spartan helmet, of course, because why would you not want a Spartan helmet? I also have the Mistborn trilogy and my Dune box, which I just got, and it is absolutely beautiful. I remember watching this when I was a young child and also reading the book. I want to reread that. These are all brand new. These are my TBRs, all right? So this I just got. N.K. Jessman, the Broken Earth trilogy. Obviously, Robin Hobbs, Samantha Sharon, Robert Jordan. The new Sandersons, I know book 3 just came out, so I'm waiting for that. Joe Abercrombie, and the Red Rising trilogy by Pierce Brown. All right, big fan of him. Some other books down below. These are some of my military books, and I will be going over some of them. I'm a big fan of Jack Carr, John Muir, Charles Henderson, Gates of Fire. This is actually one of the greatest books you could ever read. If you are somebody that wants to read about brotherhood, about fighting with the soldier right next to you, that is a Stephen Pressfield. I would highly recommend that. Read it. Lieutenant Colonel Grossman, also a psychologist and also a former military guy, all about combat, all about killing, the psychological effects. Really, really good information there. And of course, The Art of War, The Way of the Samurai, and The Book of Five Rings. I think you should have that. They finally got these in a very nice illustrated edition. And I was able to pick that up. I got my awesome Reading Gargoyles. I have one on that side, and then I have one on this side. Great bookends. Of course, I have James Islington, big fan of his. I'm going to read that whole archive. And this is what I've been really banging out, is the John Gwynne. I am a huge fan of John Gwynne. I just finished The Shadow of the Gods, and I'm reading his second book, and I know there's a third one coming out. But wow, I love Norse mythology and Vikings. All right, so I think I'm 1% Viking anyway, so that kind of worked out for me. But beautiful, beautiful awesome writing. The humor, everything that's in there is just typical soldierly, death, murder, kill kind of thing. But then the brother and sisterhood is phenomenal. I'm going to get into an in-depth with that. Brent Weeks, I have not finished it, so I'm going to get into his stuff. Conan, I grew up watching Conan, so I'm a huge fan of Conan the Barbarian. I read when they used to be comics. So I think Robert Jordan used to write a little bit with Robert E. Howard, if I remember correctly. So I'm a big fan of that. And then here's all kind of my self-help books. All right, so Atomic Habits, Art of War, Think and Grow Rich, Extreme Ownership, The Dichotomy of Leadership, Goggins, Ryan Holiday, Robert Greene. All these books are ideal for running a business, mastering your self-control, that kind of thing, and I would highly recommend all of these. Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Absolutely great title, and I'm sure he sold 1 million of them. I also subscribe to him, so great. And then over here, this is my Drinking Viking horn that my wife got me for my 50th birthday. It is awesome. This is an actual horn from a bull, I believe, and it's supposed to be a Stein. So really, really appreciated that. My wife is awesome, so she looks out for me when she can. All these books right here are going to be survivalist, prepper kind of stuff, all right? So Homestead, Green Beret Survival Manual, 1,000 Deadly Skills, Clint Emerson, always Navy SEAL, book, The Bowie Knife Fights and How to Fight Techniques with a Bowie Knife. So I think that's pretty cool. I had to pick up that book. Special Forces books, Homesteads, Urban Survival, The Forager's Forest, Woods Wisdom, and Bushcraft. So again, my bushcrafting skills has to do with a lot that I do on my other channel, but I also want the books to read them and to also reference them. All right, moving down. Little Dungeons and Dragons. I used to play as a kid, and I lost all my books or threw them out. So I'm kind of pissed off that I did that, and I had to rebuy all these books. You don't have to rebuy them, everything's online now, but again, I'm from a different era and time. More extreme survival stuff, country living, survival, self-sufficiency. These are all military pubs. All right, and then this is my knife making stuff. All right, so everything here I learned from a book on how to make knives. So again, the 101 Knife Designs, Master Bladesmith, Tactical Knife. Bob Loveless is a huge knife maker. Again, some more Trapper's Bible Guide, that kind of thing. Bowie knife, handguns, and this is all my firearm stuff. As I served in the military, I did learn to appreciate firearms. I am an avid hunter, like I said. So there is some reference material here, Smith & Wesson, warfighting, snipers, gunsmith, that kind of stuff. So let's go over to my other bookshelf. Holy crap. All right, sorry. That's the bear that I shot last year. And again, like I said, I'm a hunter, so I'm sorry if it offends you. But this is the one that didn't get away. All right, let's look at my Tolkien bookshelf. My Tolkien bookshelf, I have quite a bit of Tolkien books. All these back here are going to be the box sets. It's also have me and my buddies in military service that was over in Iraq and was standing on top of a quote-unquote decommissioned tank from the Iraqi army. Moving down, this is my Hobbit section. So everything here, all these books are different versions of The Hobbit. This is the one that I actually read the first time way back when, so I think it was 1999, and I love that version of it. I also have other older versions, like this is kind of cool. All right, so this one, I think it was from Huff Mifflin Company. Yeah, so this one's kind of cool, pretty old. And then most of these are newer purchases. So the History of the Hobbit, the History of the Hobbit 1 edition, Tolkien's Lord of the Rings photo novel. All right, so this is kind of cool. You don't see this too much, but what they did is they took the old video and they made a book out of it. All right, so very unique in the sense that it's like almost a comic, but it's small, and when I saw it, I had to grab it. I had to have it. Some more Tolkien stuff like Beowulf, Gateway to Sindarin. All right, so that's the Elven language, and of course the movie books of The Hobbit. Moving on down, we have all the single volume editions. So some of them are still in the plastic, but again, this whole entire shelf is just for single edition volumes. My dad bear that my son gave me, again, at Christmas. Similarian, couple different versions of it. Middle Earth, the maps of Tolkien, the artwork of The Hobbit, artwork of Lord of the Rings, the world of Tolkien, the maker of Middle Earth, the Tolkien, the illustrated encyclopedia, Arts and Illustrator, Tolkien Bestiary by David Day, recipes for Middle Earth or Tolkien, a couple different soft paperbacks for the Lord of the Rings, and this is David Day's The World of Tolkien. Really nice colors. Down here I have some more of the heavier books. The History of Middle Earth, again David Day. Tales from the Perilous Realms, The Nature of Middle Earth. The Battle of Mandolin, The Fall of Numenor, The Similarian, Unfinished Tales, The Fall of Gondolin, again, Brethren and Lutheran, and The Children of Hurin. And these are all the paperbacks in black. All right, so these are all the ones from 1 to 13 or 1 to 12 with the 13 that is all encompassing the Lord of the Rings. The Return of Sauron, a couple other Similarian, Unfinished Tales, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Tolkien, The Fall of Arthur, and the Complete Tolkien Companion. All right guys, so I hope you appreciated that. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, add some comments down below if you like this kind of video. I know the tour videos are pretty popular. I just want to give you a little bit more of the behind the scenes. If you want to become a Patreon member, only costs you $1 a month. Also check the links down below. I'll have my Amazon store and a couple other links to my other channels if you're interested. Thank you very much guys, and this is my tour for 2023. Stay safe.